First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith Overseas.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
Yep.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
That 4 out, 1 in. You know what I'm saying? The offense.
Yeah,
What you know about it? What you know about it, Jalen? You know what I'm saying? I know you be coaching. But look, man, we are the 3-Man Weave. That guy over there in the right corner is Jalen Bess. That just went straight to the point podcast. The guy on the bottom right is our fantasy football champion, the back-to-back champion at that. Boy told us he wanted to change the logo. I'm like, oh my god, we didn't messed up, fellas. Oh man, but like I said, we are together, coming together, a good conglomerate, because you know it is the playoffs. Their team is in the playoffs. You know, our team is not. So you know, might have to squabble up. You know what I'm saying? Might have to squabble up.
We ready.
Somebody got to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got to do it.
This is episode 262. I'm Hill. Hill gonna heal regardless. Even though I definitely gave y'all a brief introduction, I want everybody to introduce themselves. AJ.
I am AJ, the resident loser of the group. I've lost every single thing, every single season. Yeah, that's been a very disappointing season, and you can tell it in my face. I hate losing, but I got my guys, and they're winners. So go ahead and introduce yourselves from the Squealers fans. Yeah, those guys.
All right, man. It's your boy Jay Bess. Y'all can check me out at Straight to the Point podcast on YouTube, of course, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. That's STR8 to the point.
And I'm Marcus Farmer. I don't have a podcast, but I do this. I'm a contributor. Shout out to the 2-time fantasy football champion, captain of the Steelers Nation fan club, about to be ex-captain of the Steelers Nation fan club. But no, check me out.
Can I get a hootie?
I ain't even gonna say nothing.
Come on over, man. I got a jersey for you and everything.
Oh man, shouts out to we got some Fab Five members in the building already. Shouts out to that guy Sean. Shouts out to I got, you know, we bumping that Jello.
My swerve in the corner. Whoa.
We bumping that Jello. It's the class. I don't know who go. It's already the first month of the year. We don't know a song that's gonna top it.
Get that boy a Grammy.
Already.
Jello about to get top 10 right now.
Yeah, man, get that boy a Grammy. Something.
Oh man.
BT Hip Hop Award. Something.
Oh, y'all ready setting the ground running. Man, first off, before we really get started, want to give prayers and condolences to all the victims in LA dealing with the fire. You know, a lot of things going on, a lot of homes is being destroyed, you know what I'm saying? So I want to give our condolences to everybody dealing with that situation over there. 3 out of the 4 members here have spent some time in Virginia in 804 area. They were out of water for a long time because of the storm. So like I say, want to thank everybody want to wish everybody just getting reacclimated to normalcy. We got a lot of people down there still. So, want everybody to get back right. I know it's dealing with some bad weather. You got snow over there where you at, Jalen?
Nah, just real cold. No snow.
Because it was snowing in Dallas, so just making sure. Bundle up. You know what I'm saying? Prepare, get your stuff, do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? And just take every precaution that you need. So, like I said, better stay ready. So you got to get ready. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, in the words of one of the Fab Five members, Chris Brooks, stop buying up all the water, stop buying up all the bread, and y'all leaving all that soap and deodorant on the shelves. Sure you wash your ass too.
don't just have to be prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Be prepared for everything.
You know what I'm saying? We've already witnessed Black Monday, and Tuesday for
That's
some
so
people.
racist.
It is, but I mean, duh, get stuff out of here.
Getting them gone.
Some coaches have been fired, some GMs have been fired, some coordinators have been fired. So we had taken the nature of let's discuss some of these jobs. One of these jobs is definitely it's the nastiest of the nastiest. And it's gonna be tough to figure out who really gonna get this job.
It's the job of the off season.
Yeah, so let's start off. I think it's easier. We really don't need to discuss this one longer, but the Patriots think it's a foregone conclusion that Mike Vrabel is going to get this job. Am I wrong, fellas?
It better be. It better be.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
My thing is, why didn't you just do this in the first place? He was sitting there waiting for you to do it. And I understand, we had Mayo as the coach in waiting. I mean, technically, is that in his contract? How can you actually put a coach in waiting in contracts and, have it, legal, especially with all the rules in place? And, Mayo was given a raw deal, but that's neither here nor there. We could talk about that at a later date, but it's got to be Vrabel. Like, who else? And Ben Johnson, has been rumored to really like Drake May and all of that, but I think it's going to end up being Vrabel because they want to continue that familiarity.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, to be quite honest, like you said, you should have just did it last year. I mean, the charades of putting out Mayo out there, setting them up with that when we knew it was a clear rebuild. Like, we knew it was a clear rebuild. This roster was not ready for anybody. I don't care who took the job. Like you said, we seen Belichick suffer his last year. It just, but let's be honest, Gerard Mayo didn't do himself any favors at all either.
No, I was waiting for somebody to say that. And shout out to Robert Kraft. At least he acknowledged he put Robert Mayo in a bad situation, a lose-lose situation. Not saying it could be just lip service or word salad, cool, whatever. But at least he acknowledged that. But at the end of the day, the fake outrage, Mayo didn't do himself any favors to even give an argument why he should have kept that job.
Can I interject? I had an issue kind of when Mayo called out Keyshawn Boutte, but after that point, he actually started hooping a little bit.
Yep.
Him and Drake May ended up forming a connection. So, it may not have come off in the media the right way. I actually did think at certain times he was pushing some buttons, and things were kind of working. They played the Bills pretty tough. Drake May, he started coming out. And so I do think, it's easy to say he didn't do himself any favor, but I also think that coming up as a defensive coach under the defensive coach that he came up under, is that kind of not necessarily who he was, but that's maybe par for the course in a sense, that strict kind of thing. And maybe that's what he knew. And that was part of the reason why he might have, been that way.
I have no doubt that Mayo could be a culture builder. And I give him benefit of the doubt. I do think Mayo had a positive impact on just the culture overall, locker room culture, stuff like that. But I get it from the ownership and GM standpoint where you have a rookie quarterback that you recognize. I think if Drake May didn't show the promise that he showed, it would have been up for discussion. The fact that Drake May showed the promise that he did this year with what we would argue probably is the worst skills group in the NFL, top 3 worst skills group in the NFL.
Easily, yeah.
Easily top. So if you take the promise that he showed with the worst skills group, it's like you got to strike when the iron is hot, per se. Like, you got to get an offensive mind in there. Even though Vrabel is not an offensive mind, I think Vrabel has enough connection that he's going to bring somebody with him.
But go ahead, Hill. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think the offensive personnel that he has now is who he needs to stay with. like I say, you're gonna do it. I mean, unless you go get a Ben Johnson, I get it. But
Right.
if you're not going to get a Ben Johnson, you need to keep Alex Van Pelt in the offensive staff.
Because
Like,
you need. Hold on, let me jump in here real quick, and that was about to be my point. You want that continuity also for your young quarterback, and one of the things that we've constantly seen is, oh, you have these defensive coaches, you give them a rookie quarterback, and then a year in you fire him, and let's get this offensive mind. Whole time that offensive mind can't run a team. Sometimes you need to have that, like the culture builder, and then keep that offensive mind just in that room where he can focus on the offense and that young quarterback and work there instead of doing what we seen with Lovie Smith when he had Dirk Cutter, and then he's got a great relationship with Jameis. Let's move on, and then next thing you know, he can't manage the whole team, and then the whole team falters. So to me, not necessarily just like, oh, you have to go and get an offensive mind. It's not always getting the offensive mind as a head coach. Go in and get an innovative, also offensive mind, and maybe keep them as the coordinator. Alex Van Pelt wasn't about to be no head coach nowhere. You could have really kept that going. You could have really kept that stuff that you were going. And like I said, now maybe try and infuse some talent and then see what happens. Dan Campbell didn't come out the gates firing right away, but he was that culture builder. The players they rallied around him. He built the culture, and now Ben Johnson didn't even want to leave you. You kept some of that staff in place. And like I said, with Alex Van Pelt, it's not like Alex Van Pelt was about to leave you. Like you weren't like your feet weren't held to the fire and saying, oh shit, we might have to promote Alex Van Pelt to head coach or nothing. You didn't necessarily have to make this move, because all I'm saying is if you knew coming into the season that Gerard Mayo was inheriting a terrible situation just as well as Drake May, when the outcome is terrible, what is the grounds for my dismissal? That's like I got your grounds for dismissal, because I'm about to ask you because I'm about to move on to the next coach. Them winning and losing the number 1 overall pick, was that grounds for dismissal? To me, no. But to me, to me, that's not grounds for dismissal, because as a coach, you're not going out there to tell your players, "Hey, we're tanking." To me, you're putting Joe Milton out there. It ain't my fault he looked good, and Joe Milton said it on his live, and that was a great answer by him. It's like, hey, dog, y'all didn't see me all season, and what I'm supposed to do, go out there and put out bad film. But to me, that's another thing. Like if you out there as a coach, like that's one of the reasons why I felt like one of the reasons why I also always felt like Zach Taylor wasn't the guy, because it was just like, hey, even towards the end of the season, you don't have no motive. Like you can't motivate your guys. To me, it's like, I can get my guys to play up. And it's like, we almost beat the Bills. Like, not almost beat them, but we played the Bills close. A division rival. They, one of the best teams in the league. We played them close. We had some close games. We showed some promise. And just because we didn't get the number 1 overall pick, okay, we don't need the quarterback anyway. But we can we're still in the running, and there's still going to be players in this draft that are in the top 5, top 10 that can help us. What if we get a Will Campbell? You know what I'm saying? What if we get an Abdul Carter? Yep. All those players can still help, regardless of being at the number 1 draft pick. And guess what? Even with some quarterbacks and some of the players that's in this draft, you can still trade down from one of those spots and still acquire some assets. To me, you still have options, and then you still have that kind of like push to go into next season. Like, hey guys, we got some stuff to build off of.
All right, let's move on to the Bears, and we got Ben Johnson right here. So, does anybody have a different candidate?
I got a hot take with Ben Johnson.
I'm listening.
Ben Johnson don't lead this year.
Why?
I would tell you why. Ben Johnson right now, can we all agree that when it comes to head coaching candidates, he might be number 1 on top of everybody's list? If they can get him.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else but the Bears, I think he might jump at it. Ben Johnson's already came out and said he had like a list of things he wanted for next head. I truly think next year's quarterback class is 10 times better than this year's quarterback class. And I doubt, God forbid, if the Bears have a top 5 pick. I think Ben Johnson comes back, runs it back one more year with the Detroit, and then he's looking at next year, because you got Arch Manning coming out next year. You got the kid from he stunk it up last night, the kid from Penn State coming out. it's a way better quarterback class next year than it is
but
this year.
to me, there's no guarantee that it's a way better quarterback class than next year.
I'm just saying I don't think Ben Johnson leads Detroit for Chicago. That's in that division. He sees the dysfunction in that front office. I don't think Ben Johnson right now. I have a hot take that he doesn't leave Detroit. If he doesn't, I don't. But wait, if he leaves, it's not for Chicago.
Here's my thing, because last year it was rumored he was supposed to get the Washington job. Now Washington had all this cap space. They had the number 2 overall pick when he easily could have drafted his guy Drake May. Went to the same school. He could have did everything that he wanted to do. Cause as we seen with the offseason that they did, they got a whole new team with the cap space that they had. So you turned down that, which was viewed crazy. Like, damn, bro, you did that. You turned down that. Now you got another opportunity with another top potential quarterback right here. You mean to tell me that you about to turn this down again? I'm not necessarily saying that you have to take the Bears job, but once again, bro, like, you're never leaving Detroit, then, bro. If you don't take a job this offseason, you're never leaving. That's how I'm looking at it, bro.
I think this is
go ahead.
I think the Bears is a good spot for him. Either the Bears or, to me, even Jacksonville, only because when you're an offensive mind like that, you want to have a good quarterback. We think Trevor Lawrence might have potential. But I feel like Jacksonville needs to hire somebody that can unlock that potential. Same with the Bears. We need to hire somebody that can unlock this potential with Caleb Williams. And I feel like if Ben Johnson is the best offensive mind available, then I feel like he should definitely go over there, because I think Caleb is a good quarterback. I think he will be a good quarterback. This year was bad. It was his rookie year. It's kind of like what you said earlier. I don't know when we talked about it, but you talked about how C.J. Stroud has kind of messed up rookie years for quarterbacks because he kind of set a standard that everybody not going to reach. And Caleb Williams definitely didn't reach it. So people are thinking, okay, he a bust, he not good, when really it was his rookie year. So I feel like Ben Johnson can go over there and unlock that potential in Caleb Williams.
Oh, if you want to go just strictly off personnel, Chicago is the best job available.
Yes.
I think Ben Johnson doesn't go strictly because of the front office and the dysfunction in the front office of Chicago. Like, when it comes to stability,
I don't know if there's dysfunction in Chicago.
I don't really think it's really that much dysfunction.
Because to me, the only real misstep that I would say that Chicago has made, and the one that I said that they should have done, is keeping Matt Eberflus. To me, you set yourself up to be in this position where you're in the coaching cycle with this head coach. Like, Brian Pope.
Hold on. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off, but you got to say keeping Matt Eberflus and not getting Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
Yes. When Jim Harbaugh wanted that job.
So he wanted that job. Too. Yes. And then keeping the offensive, personnel in place too. To me, like from that previous iteration, I think they brought in what was his name? Shane Waldron.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, hey, he was coming over from the Seattle with raving reviews. You know what I'm saying? So you bring in Jim Harbaugh, he would have made life so much easier on Caleb. I think it would have actually been good for Caleb's, development because Agreed. He's going to run the ball. He's going to run the ball. He's going to protect Caleb, and even some of that off-script stuff that Caleb likes to do, it kind of reels him in a little bit because you're having a strong running game, you playing defense, and you're going to give him easy things. And guess what? You saw that in over there in LA with Justin Herbert. He reined them in. They're allowing him to push the ball a little bit more, and but they're making things easier for him with, I would say, not as polished receiver room and running backs that may not even be as good as what they got in Chicago.
Yeah,
Harbaugh would have done really good things, and to me, he fits that culture in Chicago. He looks like what that division wants: that cold weather, run the ball, and
we know the difference. The only thing is no need to speak in like hindsight. We know what he would have done differently. He wouldn't have drafted Roma Dunzier. He would have drafted Fashanu, right, from Penn State. Those were the only two different moves made that he would have done differently. And they would have played exactly how he doing in the Chargers. They would have done the exact same thing that they're doing in Chicago. We don't have an issue. Nobody has an issue with the Ben Johnson prediction, right? Or do we have another? Is there another one that anybody has that can get the job?
It's actually, I think that to me, Cliff Kingsbury has shown that he can get another shot, but I think that there's some guys that are just meant to be OCs and some guys meant to be DCs.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad.
everybody can't be a head coach. So I
Yeah.
think Cliff has definitely deserved a spot, but does he really need to be a head coach? I think he should stay put with Jay Daniels.
Yep.
Now you keep talking about dysfunction. If they go out there and get Cliff Kingsbury, that lets you further know that they are just they really
Caleb request a trade.
They just do it now. They just try to do everything. I know we try to say fix Caleb and get Caleb straight, but damn, bro, like come on, read the room. New Orleans Saints is next on the graphic. We have Aaron Glenn on here.
No brainer. Yeah. Former player, no brainer.
I won't say no brainer, but I think that it's a good fit. Even though they're coming off of Dennis Allen and stuff like that, I think with Aaron Glenn, I think he'll be able to put together a staff that'll be able to do things with that offense. And I think with some of the things that go on that team, regardless of what they do, they always figure out somehow to make the money work. And I think they'll be okay.
I want you to say right
Saints are in salary cap hell though, boy.
We're gonna talk about that. Jake,
they make it work somehow.
You got another candidate, or you good with Aaron Glenn? Because I got a question.
I'm good with Aaron Glenn.
No, I'm talking to Jalen. I'm sorry.
I think that there's two jobs this guy can get, but I want to see Vance Joseph get another chance because he only had. Remember, he got that job in Denver, the head coaching job for 1 year. He only had 1 year to prove something that he didn't. But I think that this would be a good team for him to go to. But Aaron Glenn is for sure the number one candidate.
All right. It's a two-part question. First part is a short answer. Do you think the Saints are a good job? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
No.
To win now, no.
Right. The reason why I say it's a two-part question, I kind of set y'all up. If they are going to and they do have an avenue to recalibrate their salary cap, but if they're not going to operate as they continue to operate in status quo, you talking about they've been in salary cap hell. They've been in salary cap hell since 2007.
For a long time.
Yeah.
So they don't. The salary cap means nothing to
them. It don't matter. Yeah. They always make the money work.
So if they're going to operate like status quo, then this is a good job for him. Because like I said, salary cap don't mean that. You can go get some players that you need to do. You go do what you need to do. But if they about to recalibrate and try to make some salary cap moves and reset this cap and release some players and now this is a rebuild year, this gonna look nasty.
Because what it's gonna come out to be is you were a bridge coach, brother.
Yeah, I pray that Aaron Glenn, which in my opinion, he's built up enough cachet of what he's done, especially the last game he just played with 20 players on IR and they beat the shit out of the Vikings. I'm sorry, it's like Cousin Family Show. But anyway, beat the crap out of the Vikings. He got to get some guarantees behind closed doors. Like, you're going to give me some time to build this thing up in my vision. Like, I don't want to see him as old. They go out there and perform as expected, and he's gone in 2 years and he's a D coordinator again. It's no way if I'm Aaron Glenn. Like I said, I'm not leaving Detroit unless I get certain guarantee. It's too good for him right now.
See. Here's where I got to push back on you. Certain coaches, you need to strike when the iron's hot because
he's gonna take it. He's gonna take it. He's gonna take it.
Because to me, the rug can get pulled out from under you real quick sometimes, especially as a defense coach. Like you can get hired over and become out of cycle real quick. Sometimes, and so to me, that's why it's like, hey, go get your head coach money when you can get it. And look, you got your connections. You a former player. Somebody will give you another DC job, but them head coaching jobs don't come around often. So unfortunately, especially when you get, hey, go get it while you can, brother.
I give you that.
It's just I get Steve Wilkes vibes. When he took the Arizona job.
Yep. I was just about to say that. Yep.
Yeah, it's all about the salary cap. How they going to attack this this off season.
We're going to do a quarterback, but go ahead. We can move on. That's a whole other show.
We're gonna skip that because it says who the hell knows when the Raiders. We're gonna use them last. We're gonna go to the Jags, and we came up with Todd Monken.
I don't like it.
But you didn't like it. Well, if people don't know, you didn't like the Todd Monken hire for the Ravens, period. So that's a that's a little
inside conversation.
But the job that he's done with Baltimore is amazing. Like he got Lamar basically almost the two back-to-back MVP.
I push back with this. Tom Monken has two things in Baltimore that he'll never have in Jacksonville: a Derrick Henry and a Lamar Jackson that can do stuff off script. Trevor Lawrence, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if we passed the point now. We got to the point where we can't call Trevor Lawrence a bust, and because we've seen Doug Peterson do things with Nick Foles and win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, and he had Carson Wentz, damn near MVP candidate to the injury. Yeah. If Doug Peterson couldn't help Trevor Lawrence, it might not be coaching. And so it's easy to say, oh, he did this with Lamar, he did this with the Ravens, but the Ravens got Lamar Jackson, who's probably the best player walking in the NFL right now. They got Derrick Henry, and they got probably a top 5 offensive line. The defense is getting spotty at times, but he's had a top 5 offensive line. He's had the top 5 running back, and he had probably the top 3 quarterback in the NFL. So I don't want to go and just say, oh, that's going to translate to Jacksonville.
Well, I'll give you some pushback. I'm sorry, Jalen. They rebuilt this offensive line. This offensive line took an actual step back at the beginning of the season, and they continued to grow with the continuity that they had. But they took a step back personnel wise from the offensive line. They didn't have Derrick Henry last year when Lamar won MVP. Like I said, they had Zay Flowers,
but they had Todd Monken though.
Remember
Mark Andrews was hurt. So
it's a lot of things that they had differently that you might can just say that he could have in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas Jr. looks like a stud in the making. You know what I'm saying? Travis Etienne showed some flashes, but who's
and
the
then you got
Tank
Bigsby.
So the running game could be there. You know what I'm saying?
But can we all agree that the biggest weakness on Jacksonville this year was their defense? Yeah, and I answer that for you. They had the worst ranked defense in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
My dark horse candidate for Jacksonville is Brian Flores.
Here's something that I would this I'm gonna steal this from Hill, but you bring in a Todd Monken. Todd Monken has those connections. Depending on who he brings that in as a defensive coordinator, we're not saying, you're automatically going to flip the worst defense in the NFL up to, a top 10 defense. But if you get something in there where it's like you can bring in some stability and just make it, a top 20, top 15 defense, that team can look pretty defense. They're not far removed from being a number like in like the number 1 seed in the NFL like last year before
they got some pieces
went wrong. So they have pieces. You can just if you bring in somebody who can, instill some competency on defense, they can, bro. They play in the AFC South. it ain't a whole lot of competition in the AFC South.
True.
Did you have another name, Jalen?
This is the one when I was talking about Ben Johnson. I feel like this is a good spot for him too. With Trevor Lawrence, man, the first year that Doug Peterson got there, right? They made it to the playoffs. Remember, they came back against the Chargers in the first round. Trevor Lawrence looked solid, right? And even last year, like AJ said, they almost had the number 1 seed for a minute. Then he fell off. It looked like Trevor Lawrence just didn't look good. So if I'm Jacksonville, I had to fire Doug Peterson because we just paid Trevor Lawrence. Right, we just paid Trevor Lawrence all that money, so I got to fire Doug and find somebody to unlock this Trevor Lawrence that we paid for. And I think Ben Johnson would be a good candidate to me.
But that's also why I think Ben Johnson won't take this job, because to me it seems like Ben Johnson is a little bit of the analytical type as well, and a lot of analytical coaches, people with that background believe you want to do something when you have that quarterback on a rookie deal because you can spend a whole bunch of money elsewhere. And so with Trevor Lawrence being paid, it will kind of cap you in a sense, especially with some of the things that they've paid. So being able to, if you were to go to Chicago, you have, some high priced defenders in place. You have, Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson. You have, some, DJ Moore. You have receivers there as well. And then you get to mess around with, a lot of money because you have Caleb on a rookie deal still. I believe Trevor Lawrence's 5th-year option he played on this year, and then now his money's about to kick in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, like, he didn't have Jared Goff on a rookie deal. Jared Goff was paid.
Yeah, but Jared Goff was paid, but also Jared Goff, it wasn't like Jared Goff was, the highest paid. And also Jared Goff, like, he made it work with Jared Goff, and they, like, their front office, they hit, like, doing the Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, like, they had to run that hit.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say is one thing that might help him is, they fired their GM, and so that's going to allow them to bring in his own GM if he wants to do so.
But I mean, they ain't fired him yet, but they will fire him.
They will fire him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Ben Johnson in Jacksonville more than I like Ben Johnson in Chicago. I just look at the division. Like, who would you rather play twice a year? Like, you want to play the Titans, and you want to play the Houston, and you want to play,
Colts.
or you want to play Colts, or you want to play you want to play Green Bay, Minnesota, and then, like I said, I think Trevor Lawrence has the skill set that you can work. I think he can work. If anybody can work with, I think Ben Johnson can. I think with Jacksonville, with Brian Thomas Jr. there, with Tank Bigsby, you can cut the ETN contract because he's done. ETN's gonna probably be the Cowboys next year. I'm being funny, but you got Tank Bigsby there. You got Brian Thomas Jr., who's easily could be probably the second best rookie wide receiver that came out this past draft class. I just think with Jacksonville and the high pick they got this year, I think Ben Johnson, if you're looking at it, and Shao Khan is probably a more patient owner than most owners. He kind of stays out the way. I think the Jacksonville job is a way better job than Chicago job.
Here, let me kind of just rebuttal to your point of being like, oh, you'd rather play, in the AFC South, because if you go to the NFC North, you got to play, these teams twice. If Ben Johnson is who he believes he is, and if he does what he did with Jared Goff to Caleb Williams, the Bears will have the best quarterback in that division. And having the best quarterback in the division, I feel confident going up against anybody. And so, like, that can change a whole lot. And then like we said, the cupboard isn't bare in Chicago. It's the same thing as being in the AFC North. Like, oh, dag, like, we got to play this team, and this team, but shoot, we got Joe Burrow. Okay, cool. I don't care if we got to play the Ravens. I don't care if we got to play the Steelers, because guess what? I feel like I have the best quarterback in the division. I know we have a chance. And then when you could do all that stuff, guess what? It's like, now that, hey, we've been tested when we get to the playoffs. Like, I know the road that I've been through. So I'm not worried about trying to get through my division. And all these teams, like, bro, you can get, like, now it's to a point where you can have 3 teams from a division make it to the playoffs with the extra seeding. So it's like, okay, so what if I got to play the Packers and, the Lions twice a year, the Vikings twice a year? Shit, all of us can get in the playoffs if we wanted to.
The Packers went 1-5 in their division. So they got the last team. Cause we got to move on, fellas. We got the Jets, and we had Matt Nagy.
Worst job. I don't give it to Pete Carroll, man. This is the worst job available right now.
This is not the worst job available. This is
the Raiders is the worst job. Yeah, the Raiders is the worst job. But the Jets ain't far behind now.
This may be 1B.
It's definitely close. It is definitely close.
It's nasty, bro. And this is the reason why Matt Nagy is over here, because anybody credible, like,
they ain't taking this job.
They're not taking this job. Like, this is nasty.
And I doubt they take another defensive coach. I doubt they take another defensive coach. They've done that 2 years in a row, two coaches in a row. I doubt the defense is fine. Like, the defense was not the problem with the Jets this year. I doubt they go for another defensive coach.
They might have to take a defensive coach, because that's all who might take this job.
They've had the best candidates back to back twice.
Yeah.
And Adam Gase, when he got the job, he was one of the best candidates. Robert Saleh, when he got the job, he was one of the best candidates. He got scapegoated, but they was one of the best candidates.
Watch Brian Flores get this job as a bridge coach. Watch.
But here's the thing: Brian Flores don't really got to leave.
I wouldn't. If I'm tired, and I get it, AJ. I don't want to discredit your point you made when you guys strike with the iron side. I'm tired of, and I'm not trying to make this a race thing because it's not. I'm tired of black coaches taking it. It is. I got you.
It's okay.
It's a race thing.
We can talk here. It is.
Yeah. I'm tired of taking what's available opposed to like nobody else has to do that. I don't want to take just because it's the only thing available. Like if I don't eat meat, but the only thing available is a piece of chicken, I don't want to take it just because that's the only thing left on the plate. Like I don't know. I'm tired of that narrative, and I'm tired of that. Like because all that happens is when the season goes the way we all know it's going to go, we're just the easy scapegoat, and it makes it easy to move on. And nobody questions the ownership. Nobody questions the GM. It's like, oh yeah, they didn't perform. It's time to move on. But you didn't give me nothing to work with. So nah, if I'm the like, let the Jets suffer, man. Yeah, I want Matt Nagy. Matter of fact, I want Matt Nagy to get that job. That's who I want to get it.
Now you peep the science. You see what we was doing.
Yeah, now I want Matt Nagy to get it, man.
Or it's the Vance Joseph job.
Unfortunately, I don't even want to see him take this job because, like I said, we know what's gonna happen. And I think he deserves a real shot because he ain't getting one in Denver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna leave it at that. And the same thing is go to the Raiders. And me and AJ had this conversation when we was coming up with the list, and he said this was the black job. I said if this was the black job, they wouldn't have fired their black coach. So now it's worse than that. Like,
look, y'all want to talk about Gerard Mayo being done dirty? Antonio Pierce was done dirty. Like,
easy.
I don't understand. You know that saying, "Play with the cards you was dealt," right?
Mm-hmm.
He was dealt with Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ritter.
mm-hmm.
When they signed Gardner Minshew, I knew it wasn't going to work because Gardner Minshew is a really good backup. He could be a really good backup, or he can start for a team that has the weapons or that has a really, really good defense, like a bridge quarterback almost. But they brought him over here with no weapons other than Brock Bowers. And Devontae Adams was there first, of course, but then he went out the door. So, like, I just think they really gave him a bad hand, and then they fired him as if he was the problem. So, real quick question, though. Max Crosby, remember, he wanted Antonio Pierce to get the job last year when he was the interim head coach. Is he going to be out the door now that Antonio Pierce?
Max gone. I'm telling you that. Max gone.
Yeah. It's like he's the best player.
Yeah. Max gone. It's a couple good ends going to be gone. Myles Garrett gone. Max gone. Garrett Wilson gonna be. It's gonna be this is gonna be a fun offseason. I'm telling you right now, they all three gone.
Trey Henderson about to request a trade.
You lost your best player because you fired a coach that should have been fired.
They gone. Tell Max stay his ass out the AFC North.
It's
we gonna trade Trey Henderson for him.
Pete Carroll is the only one. Is the fact that he still wants to coach. It's the fact that they need to get somebody that they don't plan on firing. Like, so I can see him getting the job. If the person that I thought that was kind of could have got this job, if he would have became available, would have been Mike McCarthy. I would have saw him getting this job. He got the same agent as Tom Brady. Tom Brady's leading the show when it comes to trying to find the head coach. I would have seen him at bare minimum. He could have got that job. But he's going to stay in Dallas. It seems like it's going to be reported right now. So they got to get somebody credible. They can't just go get somebody to fire. They paying 4 coaches, bro.
So let me tell you why I actually kind of agree with your Pete Carroll point. Is because Pete Carroll will be able to come back into the league, kind of get, his, feelings of, going back and, kind of, sticking through rebuilding the team.
Mm-hmm.
But he only got so many coaching years left. Pete Carroll, like 73. You know what I'm saying? So you bring him in and kind of give him that, 3-4 year contract. Let him try and right the ship, be that culture builder that he was and stuff like that. Get, try and get some of the right players in, be a part of the quarterback search and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's time, then by the time, it's time for him to go, hopefully you have kind of like, a good trajectory, a succession plan in place or whatever the case may be. And you stabilize that organization. Yeah. I think Pete Carroll can come in and be that stabilizer coach, and then he'll be about 76, 77, and he could try and ride off into the sunset, maybe get a Raiders playoff win or something like that, within his couple years that he's there and be gone.
You answered the question. Pete Carroll to the Raiders. You just answered it. You answered it.
That's their only hope at this point. That's their only hope. But that's the nastiest job at this point. They don't have a quarterback in sight. They don't have it's not the bridge quarterback that you can think of that can even give them the inkling of maybe there's some hope here. This is a nasty offseason. This is just nasty. They paying
the only spot was Brock and Jacoby Myers. Those were the two bright spots, and Max will be gone. So yeah. I think Jacoby Myers was an underrated receiver. Me personally.
The defense actually performed, but Patrick Graham, his contract was already up, so he gone. So like I said, it's nasty. They're gonna need somebody to stabilize this thing.
I feel like the defense performed because Antonio Pierce is actually a good defensive coach. They don't have, outside of Max Crosby, there's not one star on that defense. Yeah. So I feel like Antonio Pierce had a lot to do with that defense looking the way it did. But I'm gonna just spitball this name out there. Look, I don't know the legal side of this. I don't, because this happened before I got in the game doing podcasts and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But John Gruden, what if he wanted to come back?
He's coming back. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, but he's coming back.
And I think
he's starting to get right there a little bit. Yeah.
They never wanted to fire him.
But it's because of what happened with the emails and
those emails came out.
Yeah.
Hey, time heals all wounds, even racism.
GTBW.
I'm being honest.
To be white.
Like
yeah.
I said, he got I'm not sure if you watch it. His stuff on Barstool is good.
Like, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
one thing he ain't never lacked was personality.
Yeah, so that ain't a bad name. Like I said, they never want to fire him.
Yeah.
The only knock on John Gruden is he has never developed a quarterback. He got to go to a team that got a ready-made quarterback. He's never developed a quarterback.
And they don't got one. So what you're saying
is they just gonna go get Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God! Let's go to the.
That would be a shit show.
I hope so.
I'm going to give the floor to our guy, Jalen Bess. He put the playoff teams in tiers. So let's introduce this segment, my brother.
All right, man. This is my playoff tiers. Throughout the season, I do tiers. I did a preseason tiers, then after 6 weeks, 12 weeks, then at the end of the season. All right. So with these playoff tiers, I basically put these teams from bottom to top. All right. And at the bottom, participation award. All right. These two teams, to me, should not have been here. Nobody thought the Broncos or the Commanders was going to be here. Right now, I know Jaden Daniels had a great year, but we did not see this coming, especially this fast. So just because they're here, we got to give them credit, right? Will they win the first round? I don't think so, right? But y'all are here. Dan Quinn and Sean Payton, to me, are the two coaches of the year because they took these two teams that should have been at the bottom and they put them in the playoffs, all right? Next, limping in. I got to be a realist. I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm going to be real. The Steelers.
Hold on! Don't go too fast.
What's up?
Don't go too fast. But
I got a little excited. It's my fault.
Any rebuttals? Anything that anybody got to say about this participation award that he got on here?
So I can't necessarily say that this is a participation award
based off his criteria he gave.
Okay, for your criteria. Okay, never mind. No rebuttals.
Okay.
No rebuttals.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
The name saved it. The name and the description saves rebuttals.
Now let's go. Let's continue.
Next, limping in. All right. One of these teams are limping in physically, and one of these teams are limping in emotionally and mentally. All right. The Texans, injuries have riddled this team. Going into this year, I thought there was going to be a threat to the Chiefs because you added Stephon Diggs, because CJ Stroud had such a great rookie year. We thought year 2 was going to be this big leap. But let's be honest, CJ did not meet our expectations this year. And Stephon Diggs being gone, Tank Dell being gone, that offense to me just doesn't have enough to compete in the first round. I think their first round exits. And then the Steelers, look, 4-game losing streak. I even said it on my show. If they lost to the Bengals last week, I can't put money on them to win. I'm a root for them. Don't get it twisted. I got my towel right here. We're gonna be waving them. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't have the confidence that I would have had if we won that last game. So, like I said, they're both limping in, one physically and one emotionally and mentally.
All right. With the Texans, you're absolutely right. I mean, they just didn't meet expectations, like I said. But I think at the same time, we should have been real with ourselves. We put the expectations a little too high.
Yeah.
We put we put the expectations. I'm saying we as in a whole, as everybody.
Right.
Like I said, a lot of people had this team going all the way to the AFC Championship game.
Y'all, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
based off the offseason that they had. And let's be honest, they had a great offseason. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to play the games on the field instead of
Yeah,
paper.
for sure.
Limping in is absolutely right. Any other rebuttal? Because we're gonna definitely take a little time with the Steelers since we got two Steelers fans right here.
What I'm gonna say about the Steelers, and I'm gonna be a realist too. Coming into the season, we had no expectation. We were picked not to have our first losing season. We were picked not to make the playoffs. We were picked to finish last in the division. I think the schedule makers didn't do us any favors. Like, yeah, we lost 4 in a row, but look who we didn't lose to scrubs. We lost. Now, granted, I think what the last 4 games showed us that we're not ready to compete for a Super Bowl. We're not on that upper echelon of tiers, but we lost to arguably the best team in the NFC. We lost to what everybody claims is the best team in the AFC. We lost to what was that, with the Eagles, the Bengals, who's the other game? The Ravens, and it was who was the 4th game, and we lost to the defending Super Bowl champs. So you give anybody that season with the injuries we had, because we just now got healthy. So I think we exceeded expectations. It's a recency bias because we lost 4 straight. I'm not happy about that. We should have won the Bengals game. We had opportunities to win the Bengals game. No credit to the Bengals. Joe Burrow was just on fire, but we had opportunities to win that Bengals game. We just didn't catch the ball when we should have caught it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at the end of the day, we still exceeded expectations when it comes to what everybody and their mama predicted the Steelers were going to be this season. Nobody picked us in the playoffs. And show me tape if you picked us to be in the playoffs. Show me tape if you picked us to be second in the division. Like we didn't. And so I blame Mike Tomlin for giving us hope, because hope is always the most cruel thing in the world. Is when you give us hope.
Did he give y'all hope, or is the standard the standard? Like which one is it?
They made a standard for the one. He gave us hope because everybody like when we were 10-2, what it was 8-3, whatever, and we had just we benched Fields, and everybody in the media blew up because we benched Fields, and Russ went there and Russ won 3 straight. They were talking about Tomlin was going to be coach of the year, and Tomlin proved everybody wrong. And granted, it was a good switch. Is what the offense needed at the time that we did it. Yeah. But nobody picked the Steelers. Nobody who's going to be honest and admit. Nobody picked the Steelers to even win 10 games. There was no prediction where the Steelers won 10 games. So we exceed expectations at the same time. But we're limping the hell into the playoffs. We're probably the biggest underdog in Wildcard Weekend, and. So it is what it is. Like, I want to be in that position.
Now I want to give both of you guys pushback because we had discussions with both of you guys. Now,
okay,
we was on your show, Mr. Bess, and you specifically told us, all your quarterbacks had to do was be better than Kenny Pickett, and y'all was gonna be all right, and y'all was gonna make the playoff. You went off on AJ and said, y'all would be way better than the Bengals. Y'all shouldn't be predicted. Nobody should be ahead of you all because we got a better quarterback room. These are your words. The footage is there.
I said it.
Also, at the same time, you, Mr. Farmer, we put the graphic on about who's going to make the playoffs, and I had the Jags, and you said, "Oh, duly noted. Oh, you don't have us making the playoffs." I said, "You know what? You are right. It's documented."
I always pick us to make the playoffs. I said I'm talking the narrative, the media narrative.
And I said you are right. I could have easily put y'all in the playoffs over the Jags. So, cool. The mass media, y'all specifically focus on the negative portions of what the mass media said. Because
your counterpart too. He's trying to hide. I don't know why he hide. He said it was gonna be last.
I'm here. I'm just sitting here listening to y'all talk.
No.
Because you was like, oh yeah, we go the number one. This our division, this and that. But now it's like, oh, nobody picked us, nobody believed us. We're this and that. Nah, I don't want to hear that because the first game when y'all beat the Ravens, oh, we own the Ravens. We this and this. Oh, now it's just like, oh, now we do. But y'all just lost to them. They just put their foot in y'all ass.
That's like
Okay.
the past 10 times we played. Just because you beat us once don't mean the narrative is gone. We still own them. Don't get it twisted.
So then y'all not limping in. This easy money. This is y'all bitch y'all about to play.
You can't do that. Come on. That's disingenuous.
They are limping.
No. I want to hear that.
They are on a losing streak, my brother. They are on a losing streak.
If I'm putting all these teams in tiers, I got to be real and put them on the limping in tier.
Okay, so if you being real, why are you upset about the media narrative? Oh, nobody picked us. Okay, y'all exceeded expectations by like how many games? You exceeded expectations by what? One game? Is that really exceeding expectations, or is that just a little bit of variance?
For one, everybody. One game.
Yeah, like let's not do that. We were picked to win.
No, y'all told me Mike Tomlin don't have losing seasons.
Yeah, but y'all still said the fans said. That's not what y'all saying. We said the fans.
I didn't say I was gonna go 6-12 or whatever the case may be. Did I say that?
What does that mean? What does last in division mean?
In the AFC North, it could mean 8-9, 9-8.
8-9. That's below 500. Don't be trying to say 8-9.
Did I just say 9-8 too? Did I just say 9-8 too? Which adds the point to my variance, right? Oh, an extra game, 10 games. But now nobody picked y'all. Like, yeah, y'all won an extra game. All right, cool. But I don't want to hear the woe is me talk. Nobody picked us. Our back was against the wall. We exceeded expectations. Nah, y'all won an extra game. Cool.
Two
extra games. My bad.
No. I'm saying two things can be true. We're gonna move on, my brother. You had another tier.
Yeah, the next tier is what is it? Don't sleep on them. Yeah, I got the Bucks and the Chargers here. I think the Bucks and the Chargers can definitely win round 1, 100%. And then round 2, you never know. A ball can bounce this way, a ball can bounce that way. And we're talking about a Cinderella run for the Bucks or the Chargers. I think that can very well happen. Like I said, one going against the injury-riddled Texans, and then one going against a rookie quarterback in Jalen Daniels. So I think that, and not only that, but Todd Bowles and Jim Harbaugh did a great job this year. I think both of them also exceeded expectations. So I think, like I said, with the round 1 guarantee, you can't sleep on them because anything can happen in round 2, and then we could be having a conversation of them in the conference championship.
After you said, like you said, round 1, cool. They got some potential wins that they could get in round 1. That's what a buck, all pun intended. That's what a buck stop. Like if we being honest about the Chargers are a year away. Like I said, they snuck up on people. Yeah. They got some wins on some people that they probably shouldn't have won. You know what I'm saying? The Chargers have mad deficiencies a lot of places on this roster, and when they face good teams, they get exposed. Like I said, now they're lucky to go against the Texans round 1.
Yeah.
Once again, that's where it stops. Same thing for the Bucks. Hey, shouts out to the Bucks. You won a division. Kudos to y'all. And like I said, you have a tough game against the Commanders. Like I said, we'll get there when we pick that. Cool. After that, who we got confidence the Bucks beating?
Oh no, there's no confidence. But I'm saying, like I said, a ball can bounce this way, ball can bounce that. Maybe.
That's why if you were betting the underdog, how much confidence do you have in the Bucks if they win the first round deal? Like if you had to pick up, who's the most favorite underdog you have right now?
Packers.
I got more faith in the Bucks than the Packers. That just me, and I'm not saying you're wrong. You could, because Jordan Love showed it last year when he played the Cowboys. He probably had one of his best games.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. I fell for that too. You beat the Cowboys, and then once you beat the Cowboys, you get propelled to a whole pedestal for some other reason. I felt I had a Jordan Love MVP candidate.
Me too.
You feel what I'm saying? And now what happened?
I say all that to say I think the Bucks can make some noise in the playoffs. That's the one. If I'm in the NFC, that's the one team I don't want to see in the playoffs is the Bucks.
But to answer your question though, that was it because I see I got Ryan is in the building and Ryan is a Bucks fan, so Ryan about to go off on us.
This one right here, the same Packers got swept by 2 division opponents. Is this your king?
Yeah.
Is this your king?
We're gonna move on to the next. Laws of gravity.
Laws of gravity, man. What goes up must come down. All year I've been screaming. Sam Darnold is going to fall apart. It's too good to be true. I just don't believe in Sam Darnold, and I think we got a taste of it last week against the Lions. It was probably the biggest game of his career, right? Fighting for the number 1 seed, being in a meaningful game because he hasn't been in his career, and he played terrible. He was like 18 for 41. It was a bad game, and I think that the expectation, but the spotlight is getting bigger. Right, you're in the playoffs now. You're going against the Rams, so I don't think they have a chance, especially because of Sam Darnold. So, like I said, what goes up must come down.
Hold on, don't have a chance.
Don't have a chance. That's my lock of the week. Before I know I spoiled it. We're supposed to do this in picks, but that's my lock of the week.
Well, okay.
I'll just save my rebuttal when it comes to but I do.
Yeah,
I appreciate your explanation. It makes sense. I'm not mad at that. Scary.
Now, this one, hear me out. Hear me out with this one. I believe the Rams, they're supposed to be in this tier. They are a scary team. I believe this is the second best head coach and quarterback duo in all of football. I believe in Sean McVay that much. And Matthew Stafford still got it. For everybody saying he's a little washed, I don't see it. When he has Puka Nacua, when he has Cooper Kupp, when he has Kyron Williams, he is elite. All right. But with the Packers, the only reason why I think they shouldn't be in this tier anymore is because of who they're playing. They're playing the Eagles. I don't think they have a chance. If they play anybody else, I would give them a chance only because I saw what Jordan Love did in the playoffs last year. I saw it. And some players, they have that little switch they can flip going into the playoffs. So because I saw it with Jordan Love last year, not only beating the Cowboys and playing it close with the 49ers, right? I have faith in them in the playoffs. But because they're going against the Eagles, who I think is the best team in the NFC, I don't think they have a chance. But I do believe they should be in a scary tier because they play anybody else, I would give them a big chance to get upset.
Who's your top 3 head coach quarterback combinations?
Go there first.
Andy Reid and Mahomes. Then I would go Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. And the third one to me is low key. It's open. It's wide open. I'm not putting Zach Taylor up there. That's what you want me to do. That's what I'm not going to do.
No, I'm not asking. I'm just trying to figure out, what is the criteria for head coach quarterback combinations? Does it have to be an offensive mind? Because Lamar Jackson's still on the planet, and John Harbaugh's a pretty damn good coach.
So you gonna put John Harbaugh over Sean McVay?
When you in conjunction with Lamar Jackson, absolutely.
No,
Sean McDermott and Josh Allen.
And those two went head to head. I trust. Okay, this is the criteria. If they go head to head with another head coach and quarterback duo, who do you have more faith in? I don't have more faith in any other duo outside of Patrick and Mahomes and Andy Reid if they go against Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford.
Give me Lamar. Did we watch Matthew Stafford the last 4 weeks?
And that's what I was.
Playoffs.
I know, but we just giving Matthew Stafford benefit of the doubt that he's gonna turn it on in the playoffs.
And that's the shit I be talking about with Matthew Stafford. He wins one fucking Super Bowl, and now he just is God. Come on, man.
His last 4.
I take Jared Goff and Dan Campbell over Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay.
Dan Campbell.
Matthew Stafford might play his.
No, I'm not.
Dan Campbell.
I'm talking emotional.
Who sold the game last year? Dan Campbell.
Matthew Stafford his last 4 games
bounced off his receiver's face.
Do you know that Sean McVay is one of the top coaches that has clock management issues? As much of a genius as we portray him to be, he struggles with the clock management often.
And Dan Campbell struggles with making aggressive decisions in games.
Whoa. And now he's the number 1 seed.
Talk to AJ, but I didn't vouch for Dan Campbell like that. I'm just saying, so direct that to AJ. But I'm just
saying that duo. If we talking duos,
this pedestal that we got, McVay and cool. I like McVay too. McVay, one of the ones is the coach, but he had issues. He had what? Like I said, I get pushback when it comes to the Rams when we keep talking about they scary. Everybody keep giving them the benefit of the damn doubt. They was fully healthy when they played the Eagles and got their ass whipped.
And that's the best team in the NFC. That's the only team I would not pick them against in the NFC.
Yeah, but what did they do after that? Yeah, they had a shootout with the Bills, and then after that they had sleepers with the rest of the league.
They scored 12 points against the 49ers. They only scored 19 against the Jets. They've only put up 13 against the Cardinals, and then they put up 25 against the Seahawks, which like Matthew Stafford Eagles' last 4 games were the worst 4 games of the season.
And
easily.
That's a scary head coach quarterback combination.
This is my point. If it's a shootout or if it's a close game, I'm trusting those two. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. He just gave me 2 examples. The big shootout with the Bills, and then that ugly game against the 49ers at home when they was fighting for the division at that point.
Why are you having an ugly game with the 49ers? We seen what the 49ers been all year.
Okay, the weather was bad in the first half. Y'all remember that game on Thursday Night Football?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The weather was bad in the first half. And it's a divisional opponent. We know what happened in division games.
Okay.
It can get ugly. We know this.
Teams don't put up 30 in the rain.
Teams
don't put up 30 in the rain?
Did you put
You can't put up 30 in the rain. Nobody said you can't put up 30 in the rain, but the weather has a lot to do with the outcome of the game, right or wrong.
Did you explain why you got the Packers is a scary team?
Yeah, I explained it. I just said that I think that it doesn't fit no more because they're playing the Eagles first round. Scary team, I think they can make a run, but they can't because they're playing the Eagles first round.
I got you.
You think the Eagles can't be beat? I think they can.
No.
I think they can be beat.
I think they're the best team in the NFC. I don't see them getting beat.
They can definitely be beat.
I don't see that happening. All right. Save us. This is the Eagles and the Bills because I believe the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. I believe the Bills have the best chance of beating the Chiefs in the AFC. These 2 teams are the 2 teams that I'll put money on to end this whole 3-peat saga. Right? To end this because save us. I don't want to see it happen. I don't think none of y'all want to see it happen. So I think these 2 teams make me sleep better at night because I think they can beat the Chiefs head to head for sure, without a question.
Based on the criteria, y'all. Based on the criteria, any rebuttals?
None for me.
All right.
Are we sure?
I would add a team.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Like but I don't know. Like I know there's other teams after this, but I believe the Lions can save us from this 3-peat. I believe the Ravens can save us from this 3-peat. There's other teams that can save us from this 3-peat. And like I said, with the way this Bills defense has been giving up points to some of these teams, who knows if they can save us, if they're going to be able to stop Mahomes.
If you ask me head to head who I would take between the Bills and the Ravens, I would take the Ravens.
Oh, easily.
On any field. It could be in Baltimore or it could be in Buffalo. I'll take the Ravens over the Bills all day long.
Easily.
Okay, let's go. Keep going. Question marks.
Okay, you're right.
There's reasons why I don't have these 2 in the savers column. For Detroit, Dan Campbell, I have question marks. In not just last year in the NFC Championship game, but this year in the Bills game, when he kicked that onside kick so early in the second half. I have question marks about your coaching decisions. You're too aggressive, my man. Like, you need to relax, calm down, because that can get you in a bind. Him versus Andy Reid, I'm not confident that he's going to be able to beat Andy Reid head-to-head because of those crazy decisions. And not only that, but when you see Andy Reid on the other side, you might want to make those aggressive decisions, which can cost your team. And with the Ravens, look, Lamar's having a great year. I actually want to see him break this narrative. But we got to be real. He is 2-4 in the playoffs. So Lamar, we see this MVP version of him in the regular season, but we don't see that in the playoffs. We just don't. We see him lose in the first round. We see him lose in the second round. We see him lose in the conference championship. And all of those losses have one thing in common. He played below standard. It just is what it is. Whenever he breaks the mold, then I'm going to drop this narrative. But it is what it is. Like I said, 2-4 in the playoffs. Is Lamar going to show up in the biggest game, which he has not yet? So until we see that happen, I have question marks.
Based off the criteria, are there any rebuttals?
You keep saying based on the criteria, like you're trying to save me or something. I don't see nothing.
No. I'm not. No, and trust me, I'm not being condescending at all. I'm really trying to save time. But at the same time, you giving out the criteria and you're explaining yourself. Like I said, you see what we said about the Rams. We didn't try to hit none of that shit. So you know what I'm saying. Don't make it seem like I'm just trying to be condescending on what I'm saying. Because I heard what you said about the Rams, and I ain't believe none of that shit.
We gonna see for sure.
So So cool. I'm not being facetious when I'm saying it because the Lions have question marks. The injuries.
Now I give you the question marks with the injury to Zay Flowers and Lamar's previous playoff record, and he got the most pressure of any team, any quarterback in the playoffs this year. I have no argument with the question marks there because that pressure and then being down a weapon who they say he might be back next week. You never know, but yeah.
But the only kind of like pushback that I have is why you can see the Bills in the save us category, but you have teams like the Lions in the question marks category when the Bills defense they ain't as beat up as the Lions, but they got just as many injuries and just as many questions as well on that defense also. And I don't think that their offense is as explosive as the Lions offense. And so, you say, hey, you have questions about Dan Campbell and his coaching, but it ain't like Sean McDermott has done some things that have had him like, oh, should he be on the hot seat at some certain points in time and stuff like that. And this team it's not an unstoppable juggernaut. They're still trying to get some things. Josh Allen has had to go, Superman, but it don't always mean that that's going to happen.
Yes, and just real quick, him having Josh Allen saves the mistakes he makes. To me, when you go against Mahomes, you got to have somebody that can go toe for toe. We seen Jalen Hurts go toe for toe with him in the Super Bowl. We saw that happen, and then we seen Josh Allen go toe for toe with him in the playoffs and the regular season. Right, so I think that also puts them above the Lions and the Ravens because those two quarterbacks that I've seen go toe to toe with Mahomes and barely lost the game. So I think, like you said, Sean McDermott has question marks, but Josh Allen can save him. Whereas with Dan Campbell, I don't think Jared Goff can save him. Because Jared Goff, I'm not that confident in him either in a very big game.
So can Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson save John Harbaugh against Andy Reid? Because John Harbaugh gets aggressive too.
He does. And once again, can Lamar get that playoff demon off of? Can he get that monkey off his back? If he can, then yes, he can save John Harbaugh. But until then, I can't say that.
You don't have to stay long on this one. We understand this.
Oh yeah.
Based on the criteria. Go ahead. Oh, you don't have to. You can say nothing at all.
Until somebody beat him.
Oh, so it's really based off the criteria. Oh my God! But you want to kill me for saying it? Okay. All right. We got the Texans and the Chargers game. Who we got?
Give me the Texans, man.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to Chargers.
Chargers.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Yeah.
I got logic, but it ain't whatever.
I just don't think that they're playing good right now.
I think they know they're not playing good though. I think they know that, and I think they've been in the playoffs. I think this is a switch. You know what I'm saying? A switch that they can flip. Like, all right, bro. Like, lock in.
Someone said it earlier. The Chargers are like a year away.
I see.
A year. They're a year away. Give me the Texans.
So even with the injuries, you feel cool with the Texans?
They ain't injured on defense.
I like the Texas defense, and I think the Texans can outscore the Chargers. The Chargers want to ground and pound and play on ground control. J.K. Dobbins ain't fully healthy. He's good, but I don't think he's fully healthy. Other running backs don't scare me. Lad McConkey is the only, to me, the only wide receiver threat. I just think if the Texans can play even remotely similar to what they played the first half of the season, I think the Texans can easily win this game.
We seen Justin Herbert in the playoffs and seeing how he collapsed in the playoff.
You got to get that monkey off his back.
Hey, Brandon Staley wasn't a good coach either. I'm just saying.
All right, we got the Ravens. We should have just saved this, but we got the Ravens and the Steelers, man.
I'm picking the Steelers. I think this is going to be the biggest upset. I'm waiting for the social media going to blow up. I think with no pressure, with 10-point underdog, with 9.5-point underdogs, Lamar got pressure. Lamar down one of his weapons. If not, I think this is the monkey off Mike Tomlin's back for 7 straight playoff losses. I think the Steelers win this one in an ugly, close fourth quarter block field goal type of game.
Yeah. I said they're limping in, right? And then on my podcast, I said, do not put any money on the Steelers because I said if they lose 4 straight, I cannot see them winning the playoff game. But then when I saw we was playing the Ravens, my mind changed a little bit because this is for one. This is a division matchup.
My body.
This is a division matchup, right? So I think people are a little too confident with the Ravens in this one because we've seen how it gone in the past. The Ravens 2-8 versus the Steelers over the past 10 games, and then 1-1 this year, right? Yes, they did give us a nice little whooping the second time we played them, but the first time we won. And I hate people saying, "Well, y'all only kick field goals." Well, what do they do? Because they lost to a team that only kicked field goals. You know what I'm saying?
And we also we forced 3 turnovers too.
Boom, that too. I didn't leave that part out, but it's cool.
Yeah.
And then the second reason why Lamar, look, 2-4 versus the Steelers. For example, if Shaq was playing in today's league, right, and we know he got a free throw problem, and he makes 2 straight free throws, are we just gonna say, all right, no more free throw problems? No, we want to see it consistently. We got to see a little bit more. Same with Lamar. Lamar beat us this year. Cool. But the record says that we still have his number. All right. So I don't think that we can just let that go. And then the playoffs is also 2-4. So he's going to need some team that he struggles against. And it's the time of year where he normally struggles. Like, let's just be real. And then Mike Tomlin versus John Harbaugh. Mike Tomlin 21-16 all time. And then the playoffs 2-1. So I feel there's a lot of things you can look at and say the Steelers can pull this off. But I think people are a little too confident on the Ravens. So I'm going to just go ahead, put my reputation on the line, and I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I love being underdog in this game.
I mean, Shaq is famous for saying, "I make it when they count." Man, so I mean, you brought up Shaq. You brought up Shaq. You brought up Shaq. I'm definitely scared. That spread is way too high. I don't give a damn.
9.5.
Yeah, that's first off, that's disrespectful. I don't care about the losing streak. This is a divisional game, and like I said, I know they won. They beat the brakes off y'all last game, but I mean, before it got out of hand, it was still a close competitive game.
If Russell Wilson never fumbles at the 3-yard line, it's a whole different ball game.
If wasn't the fifth, because if they didn't have them if y'all didn't force them 3 turnovers the first game, that's just a part of the game. Like you said, when you kick field goals, that's a part of the game. Turnovers is a part of the game. So
not having Zay really does scare me. Really does scare me. So that's why when you talking about don't put no money on it. That spread is begging for some money to be put on, Steelers wise.
Oh, the spread, yes, the spread, 100%.
Yeah. So I got the Ravens. I just think the Ravens are a better team at this point. I think they can just do. They playing way better at this point, and like I say, momentum definitely plays a part. Like I haven't seen the team ever in my life limp into the playoffs and then just flip a switch. You know what I'm saying? Have a losing streak like y'all had. Like it's a 4-game losing streak.
Well, the last time we won the Super Bowl, we lost 3 straight as a wild. We lost 4 straight and as a wild card and won the Super Bowl.
Like you said, you never see a team limp in, but the only reason I have confidence is because of the matchup. That's it. Because
I understand. I'm not yelling at you. I got the Ravens though, but I'm scared. Yeah. AJ?
Ravens cover the spread.
All right. Okay. That's a reputation on the line. Big dog. We got the Bills and the Broncos. Anybody? Go ahead.
I'll go to Bills. I'll go to Bills. I think it's going to be a good game, though.
Give me the Bills.
I had the Bills, too. I think this feel-good story of the Broncos is, feels good right now. But once again, at the same time, when they play some real teams, they've been built to ass.
Yeah. The thing about the Broncos this year, they took care of business against the bad teams.
Yeah.
Right? They lost 1 game against a below 500 team, and that was against the Bengals in overtime. So that's the best part about teams. When you can take care of business like that, you're going to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think the matchup is too big. And also, my thing on rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, I don't feel comfortable, especially the first time in there. So I got to go with the Bills and Josh Allen.
All right. A lot of people are scared about this game, though. But
I think Broncos are maybe 1 or 2 years. I'm kind of like in the same boat as the Chargers. They 1 or 2 years away.
I think the Broncos are whatever year, Dayball year, first year Giants. That's what I think the Broncos are.
Yeah.
Really?
Think they fools go. Like, I think they're going to,
Okay.
But, I mean, they handled business this year. Shouts out to them. We got the Vikings and the Rams.
Give me the Vikings.
Vikings. Go ahead, say it.
Vikings.
Oh, I definitely got the Vikings.
Yeah, we got the Vikings.
Flores about to beat the shit out of Stafford.
So y'all are comfortable putting y'all money on Sam Darnold in his first
No,
ever
no, no, no,
playoff.
no, 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 no.
I
I'm
put
Put my money on
money
the
on the Vikings as a
Vikings.
team. As
The
a
Vikings.
yeah.
The Vikings. See that logo? That's the Vikings,
Yeah,
dog.
like you say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flores about to be Stafford about to look like Detroit Stafford. What was he supposed to do? That's what he's gonna look exactly like that.
All right, we sure gonna see. I can't wait.
That Vikings gonna blitz the hell out of Stafford.
How many?
And,
What's your over under? So if I put Stafford turnovers at 1.5, you taking the over or under, Jalen?
Over.
Under. I'm taking
Okay.
the under. And this is and actually I give respect to Brian Flores for the way he's doing that defense, but this will be a chess match between him and Sean McVay. And whoever win that chess match is going to win this game. And I think that Sean McVay will win that chess match, and I think they're gonna win this game.
I mean, if he should win it, best head coach quarterback combo.
You're right. He will win it. I say second best. Second best. Second best. Don't do that. Second best.
so we got an intriguing game of the Bucks versus Commanders.
This is my favorite game.
And based off your logic, Jaylen, I want to hear who you have winning.
I got the Bucks. Once again, I'm not betting on a rookie quarterback. Yeah, I'm not betting on a rookie quarterback first game. Jaden Daniels had blown me away because I didn't think they was gonna be here, right? And they're here in large part because of him. When he got drafted, I was like, they don't have enough weapons. I saw Terry McLaurin. What else do they have? Well, he's making it work, right? With his leg, with his arm, and Dan Quinn's done a great job with that defense because over there, not too many stars. I like coaches that can coach a defense with not a lot of stars, right? So I like what I've seen from Washington, but it's the playoffs. And Baker has experience. Todd Bowles got experience. I think they're going against, I think it's just bad timing.
Anyway, yeah, come on. Who got?
Yeah, I'm going to Commandos. Baker's been on a heater. Baker's been playing well, but I'm going with the Commanders winning because I think that when it comes to being dynamic, I think Jalen's going to be able to kind of make some plays, and I think what he's been able to do and the mobility that he brings to that offense, I think it's going to help even when things kind of get tight within the playoffs. So I think he's going to be able to kind of extend some plays, extend some drives. And I think Baker definitely will, he'll give you a chance to get the ball too. So, if he gives the ball up, it's gonna be a long day, and they're gonna be playing from behind. So I'm definitely going to Commanders.
This is the one game where I wouldn't dare put no money on it. I think the team that can run the ball the best and have the least amount of turnovers is one that's gonna win. If I had to bet right now, give me the Bucks just because they're at home. Like it's literally the tiebreaker is who got the home game. But I can see the Commanders easily going down there and winning this game. Like I wouldn't touch this with $2. I wouldn't touch this bet.
Yeah,
I'm about to put 15.
I feel the same exact way. Like you say, based off, I won't do a cop out answer, but like the result of this game won't surprise me either way. But I do have the Bucks. I think the Bucks have a better running game. I think they have a confident quarterback. I'm not saying the better quarterback, but they have a confident quarterback. And Baker is what Baker gonna do, shake and bake. But Todd Bowles is a rookie quarterback's worst nightmare. Like I don't care what you think about this Bucks. He gonna sit in the house. Yeah, you can sit in the house. And I mean, he left the game last week with knee soreness. The last time he got an injury, they said he was all right when it came to that rib injury. He came back and had 4 games of one of the worst 4-game stretches of his short career. You know what I'm saying? Now this knee cert, like you say, of course, meaningless game. They could have preserved, precaution. Could be, but you lied to me before.
Yeah,
lied and manipulated.
So they division. Fuck, we got the Eagles and the Packers.
Upset City. Give me the Packers, man. I think Hurts coming back off that concussion. He ain't played in 3 weeks. He ain't played 2-3 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I think if I had to pick any upset, now don't get me wrong, the Eagles are favored and should be favored. I just think that if Jalen Hurts plays bad, the Eagles going to play bad. That literally, I've never seen one team's whole offense is besides the Ravens. I've never seen one team's offense solely predicated off one player like the Eagles, where if Jalen Hurts plays bad, I think Green Bay with their defense, the way they can run the ball, I think if they can limit turnovers, and I think the Packers can beat the Eagles and be the biggest upset this weekend.
Yeah, I respect it. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm going with the Eagles. Jordan Love got a little injury that he talked about this week, saying still bothering his elbow. So that's big because I think you have to keep up with these guys because the Eagles, to me, it's a matchup nightmare. Because you stack the box, I got 2 number 1 receivers out there that's going to give you work, period. And I think if you don't stack the box, then Saquon going to eat. So even if Jalen Hurts is not at his best, I still believe they can get the W just leaning on Saquon because they're going to give him the ball. And he's going to find a way to hit his head on the goalpost like he's been doing all year.
I'm going with the Eagles strictly because I just think when I know Hill talked about teams being fool's gold, I don't think the Packers are that good. I don't believe that the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, but I don't believe the Packers are that good at all. It's kind of like, to me, it's like that Miami team. What was it last year when they didn't beat a winning team at all? Like, I don't think I can't name you a good team that Green Bay beat all year.
That's fair.
Yes, that includes the Rams.
But the thing about it is, I want to be wrong. But I got the Eagles.
But yeah, for sure.
I want to be wrong as hell. But the reason why I think that the Eagles are going to win,
get that hate out, brother. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be because of the defense. And they have been exposed that these wide receivers are just, they a whole bunch of wide receiver twos. And they've been exposed. You play man, you can disrupt all this. You know what I'm saying? And what do the Eagles got?
Snap. I forgot Christian Watson towards ACL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
he definitely changes a lot of things. But even if he did play man, and just
I totally forgot about Christian. I'm sitting thinking I forgot about Christian. I might have to change my pick to the Eagles, man.
So these wide receivers,
he was there to take the top off, guy.
These wide receivers have shown that they can't handle. They can't just beat man. Now, if the team that they were playing zone, like the Rams, they can exploit that, But that's the reason why. Now, if they come out here and show something different, maybe they run the ball, maybe they, stop them. Cool. But I just don't see. I think this matchup. I
think the one player we have that doesn't get talked about enough this season, having a great season, to me, is Josh Jacobs. I don't think people really talk about how good of a season he's having this year, too.
Yeah.
I think he could be an X factor. Like, Josh Jacobs is quietly having one of his best seasons as a running back.
He could be, but then at the same time, they don't have Jair Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
So,
damn, I forgot about that. I forgot about that one too.
So you like you said, you're dealing with an AJ Brown, you're dealing with a Devontae Smith, and then you don't have your number 1 corner. Like,
Eagles might take this one.
It's bad timing. Perfect time.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I give you that.
So, that's it for the first Super Wildcard preview. I want to appreciate everybody that tuned in now, or everybody that's going to tune in later on the playback. Appreciate everybody that joined us here tonight. Let's have some fun, watch some football. Let's get up out of here now and watch the rest of this college playoff game.
Who y'all going for? Ohio State, Texas.
I got Ohio
State. You see the score.
Ohio State. I haven't looked, but I was already going for Ohio State.
I have Ohio State.
We know who AJ going for. I'm going for Ohio State too.
I think Ohio State just the.
Right. Jalen, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man, you can catch me on my YouTube channel, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, at Straight to the Point podcast. All right, straight STR number 8 to the point.
Where can they find you, Farmer?
Man, y'all can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. It's DUDA_MAF. Do the math. DUDA_MAF. Man, holla at your boy.
And he cheated in fantasy.
Y'all know y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill. That's AJ. Some of y'all the 4, but some of y'all the Fab 5. And we are out.